O God, thou hast taught me from my youth, and hitherto have I declared thy wondrous works. Psalm 71, verse 17. The psalmist reaches back to the beginning. God's instruction did not begin in old age or at some moment of crisis. It started in youth, before the psalmist had wisdom enough to recognize what was happening. God was already teaching. The word taught carries the idea of training and discipline, the formation that shapes a person from the inside out. The phrase, "Hitherto have I declared," connects past instruction to present testimony. Everything God taught, the psalmist declared. The teaching produced a proclamation. God's wondrous works are not private possessions to be kept quiet. They are public declarations that belong to the congregation. The psalmist has spent a lifetime doing this, and he names it before God. Now also, when I am old and grey-headed, O God, forsake me not, until I have showed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to every one that is to come. Psalm 71, verse 18. The psalmist names his condition without embarrassment, old and grey-headed. He brings all of it before God and makes one request: do not forsake me, not because he fears death, but because he has unfinished work. He wants to declare God's strength to the generation standing in front of him and God's power to the generation not yet born. This is a man whose entire concern has shifted from his own survival to God's reputation across time. He does not ask for more years of comfort. He asks for more days to declare. The prayer is missional at its core. God's power must reach every generation, and the psalmist intends to be part of that chain of testimony until his last breath. Thy righteousness also, O God, is very high, who hast done great things. O God, who is like unto thee. Psalm 71, verse 19. The question is rhetorical, and the answer is silence. No one compares to God. The psalmist has stacked the evidence. God's righteousness reaches to the heights, and God has done great things. The combination of character and action leaves no room for rivals. Human rulers rise and fall, nations collapse, and enemies who seemed invincible vanish. But God's righteousness remains at the same height it has always occupied. The exclamation, "Who is like unto thee?" is not a theological puzzle. It is a declaration of worship drawn from a lifetime of watching God act. The psalmist has seen enough to know the answer before he asks the question. No one is like God. Thou, which hast showed me great and sore troubles, shalt quicken me again, and shalt bring me up again from the depths of the earth. Psalm 71, verse 20. The psalmist credits God with both the troubles and the deliverance. He does not separate them. God showed him great trouble. These were not accidents or the unchecked work of enemies. They were part of what God allowed and used. The psalmist holds this without bitterness. The confidence that follows rests on God's character. God will quicken him again, restore life to what has grown weak. God will bring him up from the depths, language drawn from the pit imagery of Sheol, the place of the dead. The psalmist expects resurrection-like recovery, because the God who permitted the descent is the same God who commands the ascent. Thou shalt increase my greatness and comfort me on every side. Psalm 71, verse 21. The psalmist does not ask for this. He declares it. The future tense carries certainty rather than a request. God will increase his greatness, not the greatness of reputation or power, but the greatness of a life sustained by God's faithfulness. And God will comfort him on every side, surrounding him, so that no angle of attack remains uncovered.